So today I'm going to be reviewing Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation. My shade is 205. So first I'm going to tell you a little bit about my skin type. I am pretty normal. Some days it's drier, some days it's oilier, but I think overall I have it finally under control to where it's not too oily or too dry. I exfoliate regularly, or I try to. So yeah, if you've never seen one of my foundation reviews before, I review foundations in a variety of categories, including the price, the number of shades, the coverage, the wearability, the longevity, the ingredients, because I have very sensitive skin, and the packaging. If you want to skip to any of the sections, I'll include links in the description so that you can skip to whatever section most interests you. But with that being said, let's get into it. So the price of this foundation per ounce is $42.57. They have 40 shades, which is the most of any foundation that I have come across. So that's one thing that I really like about this foundation, is they actually have my perfect match. And they'll probably have yours too, because they have so many foundation shades. So I'm going to apply this half with a brush and this half with a sponge. I think it applied a more even coverage with the sponge, but the brush gave a more full coverage, so it just took a little more time to blend out. So for the coverage, I think that it's okay. It doesn't cover some of my acne, my hormonal acne that I've got going on right now. I would definitely say that it is medium coverage. It claims, somewhere I think I saw it claim that it's full coverage, but it's definitely medium, so I'm going to give it a 7 for coverage. Overall, I think it wears pretty well. It is a natural finish. In my problem areas, like right around here, I can see some issues, but it's not separating, and if I exfoliated more, it probably would look better. So I think it looks pretty good, so I'm going to give it a 9. So the ingredients in this foundation are not great. It contains talc, which isn't a problem for me but can break some people out. It also contains tocopherol, which is vitamin E oil, which can also break some people out. It doesn't bother me though. The main problems with this that I have with this foundation are the preservatives. It used phenoxyethanol, which is not terrible. It's probably the best preservative that most companies use. There are no parabens, but the biggest issue that I have with this foundation is that it contains BHT, which you've probably heard of BPA. It's a preservative that's similar. It is used as a food preservative as well. There's a lot of research, there's a lot of controversy surrounding it on the internet. If you look it up, you can find lots of studies, lots of people saying that it's awful, some people saying that it's fine, but there have been links between cancer and asthma, as well as behavioral issues in children. I think that's probably from eating it. I don't think that it being on your skin will, maybe, because it is going into your bloodstream, but also that it's an endocrine disruptor, which that means it can mess with your hormones, especially your thyroid. So if you have a family history of thyroid problems, BHT is not the best ingredient. There's also concern for skin irritation, which is probably the main concern with it being in a skincare product. You're not ingesting it in high amounts like you would be as a food preservative, but it still does get into your bloodstream through your skin, especially if you're using it every day. Also, it's been linked with organ system toxicity. So overall, it's just not a great ingredient, so I'm going to give it a 4, because it's basically as bad as parabens, I would judge it. It's not something that, even though it's controversial, it's not something that I want to put on my body on a regular basis. As far as the packaging, it gets a 5 out of 5 because it is in a pump. I will get back to you on the longevity. It did kind of settle a little bit in my dry areas, so I'm going to dock down the wearability because it doesn't look great. So that's an 8 for wearability and a 9 overall for longevity, which gives it a total of 78.7, which is actually the highest foundation I've reviewed so far, so... So I hope this video was useful. If you want to see another one of my foundation reviews, you can click over here. If you want to see me create the look that I'm wearing today, you can click over here. And I would love to hear advice if you have any on ways that I can improve my look for my wedding.